It's not really the weather for sitting up here and reading, but here it is up here, it is working. I've got 5G up here as well, and it looks great. Looks great in the sun. Bit of spray on it. Yeah, there's no chance in the wind. I'm just saying that I got a bit of spray on it, but that I'd let you know if I had any issues with it afterwards, and I didn't. Waterproofing just fine. Thoroughly tested there. Also, I'm pleased to inform you that Bigme have sorted the security updates, and it is now fully up to date with the up-to-date Google security update, so there's no worries there on that front now. It took sort of 2 goes to update, but it got there in the end. I want to compare, I want to get these both on the screen at the same time, because on the left is the original HiBreak Pro, which is the black and white version, and on the right is the color version, and both of them right now have got their lights right off. So that's what you can expect there. This room is well lit, but normally with a Kaleido screen, you're gonna end up running that light somewhere between 1/3 and 2/3, about halfway, I guess. Of course, you're in the black and white screen world, you're generally gonna get away with not having that on unless it is dark, in which case you can go for the warmer light or go for the colder light. Generally, as I say, I would run these with the lights right off. However, I have been really enjoying this, and I do frequently use Kaleido free screens with no front light at all. I just find good natural light. An interesting question here. Well, no, it's just if it is black and white content, it will show black and white, and if it's color, it will show color. It doesn't take any more power or less power to use black and white or color, and just show you both the same, exact same book, looking exactly the same pretty much here on either side. It isn't better to read on the color, it's better to read on the black and white when you've just got word, and when you've got just words on the color, it's not quite as nice because you don't have that high contrast, and you do therefore just need to slip that front light on about sort of 1/3 of the way up just to get it somewhere near the same way. However, I've found this really quite good, and I have been reading quite a bit on this for myself, for my own pleasure, and also just because it's been in my pocket. It's been my sort of bedtime reader with my boy. So we've been reading Wild Robot on Kindle, been enjoying that. We're on book 2. We haven't been reading Superman, but that was just to demonstrate the color content earlier. And I think that looks really good. I think that looks really totally acceptable. So actually, personally, I think because I'm using it as my phone, and my SIM card is in there, as I did the black and white one for some time until I started testing out the Palma with a SIM card. I was using the black and white one as my phone, and I find the color is useful just for getting around different apps. I just want to show you that difference. If you look at this, you know, you're kind of used to, oh, I want the Kindle app. I'm kind of used to spotting the little bit of blue. And when you're then in the Kindle app, before I was logged in here, you can see, well, in the black and white one, it's just harder to sort of see the difference between the different books. And of course, you aren't getting the same experience reading in black and white on a comic, for example, as you are on the color. There's a little bit of flickering going on here, so I can sort that out. If I go into anti-shake, I need to go custom first, anti-shake, and you'll see that will get rid of that flickering. I don't know if you saw that, perhaps didn't come through on the video, but I already have that anti-shake here. And you can see here, they're both performing pretty much identically because they're an identical phone, apart from the Kaleido free screen. And really what's going on, if you want a little bit more information about that Kaleido free screen, really the active part of that screen is exactly the same. It's just it's using the black and white pixels to darken different colors. It's using the black and white pixels to darken different colors. So if it darkens red and blue, for instance, then the pixel shows green. But it means that for every 3 black and white pixels, there's only 1 color pixel, if you like, because each black and white pixel is doing the job of either a red, a green, or a blue. So here's the Kaleido-free screen of the Bigme HiBreak Pro under a microscope, and you can see each color dot can also be a black dot. So hence the difference between the resolutions. You've got 3 different colors which can at any point become black. But to make any individual color, then you need to in some way mix those 3 colors. So there's a third of the number of pixels, which is 150 ppi, because it's a 2-dimensional surface, and that's how squares work. So far, you've just seen some sort of gray colors and some white colors, and you can see that all RGB are showing and they mix together to make white. But when you actually see a colored area, you can see that to make the different colors, they're having to darken the colors that they don't want in the mix. And that means that all colors are necessarily darker than if they were made by actual colored pigment, rather than just by dimming this color film on the top. It's not a perfect solution, but at least it can refresh quickly, which is what you want if you're going to be using it as a mobile phone. Gallery 3 or Spectra 6 would look better for static images, but they wouldn't be able to refresh as quickly as this. It's really nice. I mean, that's totally acceptable still in the black and white one. It looks better than acceptable in my opinion. It looks really good. I really did enjoy using the HiBreak there. I do think that for a phone, on reflection, I do think that for a phone, you do want color if you're going to be wanting to use it in different apps. So I just think, yes, it just looks really quite good there. But they are, as I said, I should find pretty darn similar battery performance. I can tell you I'm getting about 3 days, 3.5. I'm getting about 3 days and then I'm charging. Probably don't use it as much as I do when I'm daily driving my big Samsung. Of course, that's the case. For the limited use, and that's one of the reasons to get this type of phone, is to use it less, but still want to pull it out of your pocket and read rather than pull it out of your pocket and doom scroll. But you can see they're identical. Chips, same code, everything's the same. Battery life, you'll see, will be the same. Might play an advert, which might just at least show how good it is at doing videos. It isn't actually showing me the battery in this one for some reason. But very similar, I've got them set up very similar. It's interesting that this one came with just a back cover rather than this fold around cover. I don't know if that was a separate one, but generally they both look really similar in terms of that. This is the black and white one. I think they're pretty good prices, to be honest. I think that the black and white one, 300-ish pounds, 330 pounds there basically. I think it's quite good actually. And I do find it quite reliable in terms of its different bands. When I go around with it, it's doing pretty well. They are selling them on Amazon as well, but I can see the old color one, the Android 11 one. These are both Android 14, these guys, but I can't see the new color one there. Is there a reason why the Boox Palma doesn't come with a pen? Yes, it's because it's a different type of technology on top to introduce a pen. You could, I suppose, do a very bad capacitive stylus on the Boox Palma without much change, but I just think that you have to have the technology enabled for the pen. It's not quite as simple as that. It takes e-ink building a paper stack, a screen stack with pen input on a phone, really. But that would be cool, wouldn't it? I think that'd be really cool. One of the reasons why I'm excited for the next paper 60 Ultra. Could the HiBreak Pro actually replace your phone out of the loop? Well, yes, mostly. It depends. I think that I've lived with the HiBreak Pro for some time and I've kind of got used to the thing that, no, it won't get rid of my phone for everything. And I'm still running this old Z Fold 3. It was funny at IFA, like they had the kind of Samsung, the whole Samsung display at the trade show. Just left me completely cold, but they had the whole display there and they had the Fold 7 out and they were comparing it to the previous models and they had the Fold 4, 5 and 6 there to show you the development. And I said, look, I'm still running the Fold 3 and the guy said, yeah, it's over there. There is one here, but it's in the museum, he said. So they had it like in a case up on the wall with the Fold 1 and 2, like this is now obsolete, I think, pretty much. But one reason I loved the Fold, of course, was having the pen. So I still use this daily for just scribbling down shopping lists and things like that. And that's what I'm excited for the next paper 60. And actually, I think there will be a logical thing for the next generation of e-ink smartphones to come with pen support. And e-ink, the corporation that make these screens, if you're listening, I think that that should be your next step, really, especially when we've got a huge company like Remarkable going for a pen. It's a bigger, the Remarkable Move is obviously bigger than the Bigme. But, you know, when you've got a company like that that wants a sort of mobile-sized writing tablet, then I think that it's logical to give us a Kaleido 3 screen at this size with a little stylus as well would be really useful. But yeah, can it actually replace your phone? Well, no, I can't, for instance, watch videos enjoyably on here, but I wouldn't really want to watch videos on here for a long period of time. I wouldn't spend a lot of time managing my emails or going to websites on here. Websites look fine, but you know, there's so many things that I do on this because it's just a bigger screen in my pocket that it's kind of like, this is my portable computer really, the Z Fold, rather than, and you know, I find this such a useful thing for work that it can't replace that. However, if you're a lighter phone user than I am, then probably this could. And I've spoken to a lot of people. I mean, if you're a HiBreak Pro user in the chat, please just dial in and help Alex with this one. Does it replace your phone? So what I really am doing is deciding on a daily basis which phone to put in my pocket. I'm even going further than that at times because I've been wearing this thing, which is the Watch 6 Classic with LTE. So actually this has its own phone number now as well. And you know, sometimes I'll go out and I'll just say, Steph, I'm not taking any phone at all. If you want to ring me on my watch, you know, it's great, you know, it's wonderful. And sometimes maybe this is in the car because Android Auto doesn't work well on here. So Android Auto in that, but I leave this in the car and leave that in my pocket when I'm going into the school building, for instance, at work quite a lot. I find that quite useful because I do find myself just checking this compulsively sometimes, more so than I actually did when I started talking about the whole idea of sort of compulsive checking and attention economy. Anyway, I'm going on. So yeah, the color version is sold out. I think they pretty much just sold them at the first tranche of them straight away. Thank you for this. So that's useful. So Bigme, the US site has 470 for the color, but on sale for 399. So okay, so it is like $400 really, plays I guess 330 for the black and white one. Is the new Boox Palma as slim as the previous versions? Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, the new Palma. Yes, you are right. The HiBreak Pro is slightly thicker than the Palma. I have got another Palma, but you can see the cases, I mean, they're pretty identical. Yeah, so this is the Palma 2, and okay, no, maybe, I don't know actually. I don't think it is. I think they're the same. Yeah, I think there's a slight trick because the Palma 2 has this curved edge, so it sort of appears to be slimmer, but I bet actually if I was to measure that, I think they're pretty much the same thickness, whereas the HiBreak has just a bit more of a sort of rectangular edge to it. I'm not sure about heavier, probably is a bit heavier, a few more modems and things in there. There we go. On Kim Scout's first outing on a mountain.
Oh, it smells fine.
Yeah, it's good. If you haven't seen my outing portable coffee machine review, then you should. It's this video here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for being my tripod.
Albeit slightly wonky.
Yeah, I'll bring a better tripod. I'll bring a tripod next time.